Hey there, superstars. It is Vanessa here again, your speaker, trainer, and coach from Live, Love, Give. And I'm coming to you with a message that I just felt called to share with you guys. And it's been inspired by the amazing and incredible work of Dr. John Demartini, who, as you guys who've been following along, know that I went and saw another amazing talk of his just last week when he was here in Melbourne. And he's just such a wealth of wisdom. And I actually got to chat to him at the event, and he was like, "When are we doing another interview?" I'm like, "Let's line it up. I can't wait. When are you back?" And so I'll be doing another interview with him in October when he's back here in Melbourne. I cannot wait for that. And I've just decided that I'm going to be attending his event. I had to readjust some other different courses that I'm doing, but I feel like I'm just totally called to attend his prophecy experience, which is something that I have dreamt of getting to do, for the last few years. And I've been to a number of his other events, the Breakthrough Experience and Master Planning for Life, and all sorts of amazing talks that he puts on fairly regularly. So I cannot wait to attend his 7 full days. I think that's at the end of November, moving into early December. So I can't wait to share that. We're going to deep dive into each of the 7 areas of life and just go the best strategies in each and every one of them to master our lives. So as you guys know, I am the human guinea pig of personal development, so you guys will definitely be cashing in on that. I will be simplifying, systemizing, taking the pieces that I use and find valuable and sharing loads and loads of that with you guys. So can't wait to do that, but really that's where my message has been inspired from. And what we're talking into today is addiction. Now, whether you think of addiction, the first thought that you might get when you think about addiction is, somebody addicted to drugs and, they may be homeless and they're in an alleyway or something, and, whatever the addiction, whatever that picture is that we oftentimes have in mind. Maybe somebody who's at a rehab who can't control themselves, blah, 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 whatever it is. Or maybe we can picture a sex addiction or a food addiction or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, every single one of us has experienced some form of addiction, whether we're currently experiencing it or we've experienced it in the past or it's yet to come. And what I want to talk into is what drives that behavior, what drives our addictive behavior. Now, there's a couple of different trains of thought on it. Tony Robbins would say, look at the 6 human needs, and any time a behavior or action meets 3 or more of the 6 human needs, then you've got an addiction. That's one great way and fascinating way of talking into it and looking at it. If you guys want to get access to deep dive training on how to actually come up with your hierarchy of human needs and know how you're wired, it's one of the masterclasses, so you can definitely join us in there and get instant access. Let me know if that's interesting to you. I can shoot you over a link. But what I want to talk into today is a little bit more on the Demartini perspective side. Now, there's lots of people saying the same sort of things, but in their own unique way. And so you can take whichever angle and messenger works for you. I like to gather them all up and then kind of see what really fits for me. But at the end of the day, today's message is all about the fact that addiction is a symptom of unfulfilled highest values and a search for instant gratification. So I'm going to unpack that. And my hope is that today you're going to recognize your own addictive behaviors, and you're going to be able to, get some self-awareness so that, when we have that foundational piece of self-awareness, we know why we do what we do, then we have the power to break it and shift it and change it. Okay? It's only when we're oblivious to why we do what we do that we feel totally out of control and we're just at the whim to the world, and that's where we get into these addictive behaviors that we feel just totally out of control of, and we just lose ourselves in these actions, which could definitely be shifted and changed if we just knew what was going on. So let's unpack that comment. So, all right. So if we've got, addiction being a symptom of 2 things, it's a symptom of unfulfilled highest values. Now, what does that mean? So every single one of us has a hierarchy of what we personally, individually value, find meaning in. No two people's values are exactly the same. Your set of values and the unique hierarchy that you have is different to mine and the next person. All right, and we have our own unique experiences with those values that, create it. Anyway, we're not going to go into the deep dive of how to unpack and get the hierarchy of your values. Another masterclass training ready and available for you if that's something that you're interested in. That's in the masterclasses as well. But at the end of the day, if we are not living in our highest values, what matters most to us as an individual, then we're just trying to search for some sort of happiness, right? So DeMartini would actually say that when we don't fill up our day with high priority actions, our day will fill up with low priority distractions. If you don't know what's valuable for you, to you, and you're just kind of living to the expectations of others, you're going to be living in somebody else's set of values, which requires motivation, external sources to keep you going. It's energy depleting and you just feel at a loss all the time. Like you need something to make life good, right? You need some instant gratification. And that's the second symptom of, addiction. So when we are not living to our highest values, we are energy drained, depleted, and we're just getting to this surface level existence where we're just needing something to bring us back up because we're so low. And so we get into this need for instant gratification. Chasing whatever it is, chasing, drugs to change our state, alcohol to change our state so we can enjoy something, food for an instant gratification, something that's unhealthy in large sums, right? Like if it's getting in the way of you living a normal existence, it's an addiction. If it's ruining parts of your life and your relationships or your career or your health, it's an addiction, right? And so however that plays out, that addiction, it's really just a symptom of you not living in your highest values, you not creating a meaningful life determined intrinsically, right? And when we don't do that, we're just trying to search for something that will take the edge off, that will distract us, that will just give us some sort of momentary pleasure because the pain is just too much to sustain. All right. So I'm hoping that me talking into this is resonating with you guys. But that's really what we've got to look at. Like, I notice personally that when things aren't, if I'm not in alignment, if I'm not looking after my internal world, if I get totally distracted with, some action I'm trying to take or project I'm trying to create or expectation from a relationship or whatever it is, right? Some other external thing drawing my attention. If I haven't been looking after myself, I do tend to fall into some sort of addictive behaviors like we all do. For me, it might be like, I recognize I'm off path if I'm like, I just want like some chocolate or some biscuits or something. And I'm not saying that that's bad, but I know the difference between enjoying something and just needing a distraction, right? Just really needing a distraction because you're just not feeling fulfilled and happy in your life and what you're doing. And, I lived a long majority of my life actually just not even knowing what that was and living in distraction and addiction and, going out and partying like 6 nights a week and, just distracting myself from my reality because I didn't like it. And I didn't know actually even how to get out of it. I didn't know I was in it. It's like what Les Brown would say. You can't see the picture when you're in the frame, right? And so it takes experiences, or it might take even a message like this to just be like, if there's a pattern of behavior in your life that you feel out of control of, that is unhealthy in some regard to you, if it's costing you in your relationships, in your career path, in your health, whatever angle, in your finances, and it's something you just feel like you're not at choice point for, for, it's ultimately because you are not living in alignment with the truth of what matters to you. And so maybe it's one of two things. Maybe you're overvaluing the expectations, judgments, and opinions of those around you, and you're subordinating to them and, not actually stepping up with courage and living in what matters to you. Or secondly, you might just not know what the hell those things are. Like, what are your values? When I ask people, what are your values? The number one thing they say is, oh, well, my values are honesty and, and family, right? They're just such generic ways of looking at what our values are. The things we think we should be our highest values, right? But at the end of the day, if I was to follow you around with a video camera for the next month, I guarantee I'd be able to tell you what your highest values are because you'd be living in them consistently. And if you're telling me your highest value is your family, yet you only see them like once a month or, Christmas time or whatever, like that is not your value, right? We always find way to step into and align with and make that time for what we value most. So we've got to get out of the mindset of just talking a big game, and we've got to actually look at how do I direct my energy on a daily basis. And it might be scary to look at because you might look at your values and you might be able to see that the goals that you set for yourself, the things that you say you want to do and become in your life, they might be totally out of alignment with that and might require, some energy and some attention to make some shifts and changes. It's going to take some radical honesty to get to the bottom of what you value at your highest level. But this message, if you want to know how to do that, join the masterclasses. I'll give you a link if you shoot me a message, and I'd be so happy to have you in there. But this message is just to let you know any behavior that you feel out of control of, it's an addiction and it's just merely a symptom. It's not who you are. It doesn't make you a weak person. It just means that you're ultimately unclear of and not aligned with what you value most in life. And you're going on the search for instant gratification to distract yourself from the pain that you experience, and every single one of us experiences when we're living a mediocre existence, when we're not really creating meaning in our life. All right, so hoping that my rant on this topic is of value to you guys. I can't wait to check in with you. So make sure you drop me a comment, say hi, let me know where in the world you're tuning in from, let me know your thoughts on this topic. It can be kind of triggering for a lot of people when we talk about addiction, right? Hit me up. I don't mind. So let's check in. I've got Andrew. Hello to you, my friend. Oh, and I should say, if this message resonates with you, if it's a value, and if there's somebody maybe in your life that you feel could get value from this, please do share it. It is such a gift that you can give to me to spread the word, and so that I can reach other extraordinary human beings just like you. All right, let's dive into it. So Andrew's here, awesome, and Adrian's back, great. And Bina, thanks a lot for all your wisdom. It really helps a lot. Bina, I'm so grateful to hear that, my friend, and always grateful to see you coming back and joining in. So grateful that they're of value. And Judy's here, and Martin and Azar. Very good. Loving that you're finding some value here. Tony, hello gorgeous Vanessa. Hello Tony, it's great to have you back. And Jürgen and King and Tommy and Rob, awesome, and Carl and Alex, yay. And Giacomo, might be Filippo, and Cody's here as well, and Nikki and Tony. What about loving someone? Is this a value? Absolutely, yes. Yeah, definitely. So there are no right or wrong answers when it comes to determining what your unique highest values are. As long as it resonates with you, for a lot of people, that's going to be love, an expression of love. It might be with a particular person. Absolutely, Tony. So at the end of the day, you've got to look at your highest values. When you step into and fully align with what you value most, it's going to enhance enhance your life. It's not going to cost you your health in any area. It's going to give you energy. You're going to be tapping into inspiration where you're willing to push through any challenges, as opposed to when you're not living in your values, you require motivation and you just give up so easy, and everything that you're engaging is actually costing you health in some area of your life, financially, spiritually, physically, emotionally, intellectually, like in all those different realms, right? So look at it that way. But absolutely, that could be your value. I would definitely recommend going into a process I outline in one of the masterclasses that you can get access to. But as I said, you guys can let me know if you're ever interested in that stuff and you really want to actually make the most of this stuff and put it into action. You know, it's one thing to talk about this stuff, but it's quite another to really apply it to your life. So, and I'm all about taking action and making this stuff actually matter in your world. So I love that question. Thanks for asking, Tony. And Tim's here, and Madeline, and Riyadh. Hello to you, and Ali. Thank you. Thanks, my dear teacher. I always follow you. I'm so grateful to have you back, Ali. And thanks for always letting me know that you're finding value here. And Josie's here as well. And Riyadh, I'm doing really well. Hope you are as well. And Nikki from Brisbane, Australia. That's so cool. Hello to you, beautiful. Great to have you here. Hope today's message is serving you. And I've also got Emma here, and Jody, and Adrian. I love having you here. Awesome. Hi, Vanessa. Very interesting. Sometimes it's hard to separate addiction from our daily patterns that you feel are in line with your values. Yeah, so, you know, you've got to look at it this way, because, you know, I know that a lot of people could look in at my life and look at me when I'm in total flow, right? Like when I just forget to eat and I'm working on creating something that I'm really inspired by, or I'm working with a group of people and I'm like, I could just go all day. All of you guys who are in my group coaching in particular definitely know that I could just keep going and going and going, because I get more and more energy as the time goes on. And, you know, people from the outside who have different values could look at what I'm doing and think, wow, like she's a workaholic, or she's addicted, or whatever. But at the end of the day, how we separate, you know, our daily patterns from our addictions is to see, is it costing you or is it enhancing you, right? And our addictions are unhealthy. That's why they're addictions, right? And we don't feel like we can control the process, and they're costing us something in our life. Whereas our daily patterns, if they are giving us energy, if they are inspiring us, if they are, you know, healthy for us, if we can see that we are making a meaningful difference or contributing, and that we're feeling fulfilled, then, you know, they are some great daily patterns or habits that you are engaging in that are in total alignment with your highest values. And a side note here is, if you are a person who likes to set goals, and you set goals oftentimes and then you don't fulfill on them, it's because your goals are not in alignment with actually what you value, and you're probably subordinating to somebody else's set of values and expectations, something you think you should want or you should move towards, but you're not truly inspired to. The moment you set goals that are in total alignment with what you value most is the moment your goals are achieved with seeming ease. Okay, so remember that one as well. So I appreciate your comments there, Adrian, as always. Love having you back. And Brooke's here as well, and Byron. So good to see you guys. So I hope that you guys who are catching me now are going to catch the recording and get a ton of value from today's message, because that's really all I have to serve you with today. So as always, I'm sending you guys all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you to wherever you are in the world today. I really do hope that it's beautiful, amazing, and extraordinary, and that you're doing something super empowering, and today's message has definitely served you. And as I said, if this message does resonate, or you know somebody it could serve, please do share it either privately or publicly. If I can speak properly. I've been doing lots of recording today. I've done so much talking. I'm surprised I'm still going. But yeah, if it is of value, please do share it. I so appreciate that. And Adrian, great points. Thank you. You're so welcome, my friend. I'm really grateful that you're here, and I love when you share your words of wisdom. And Jared's joined us as well. So that really is my message for you guys. Much love to you, Jared. Good to see you, my friend. But I hope that it serves you. I hope it gets you thinking about your patterns of behavior and whether they are in alignment with your highest values and therefore energizing you and keep going, keep bringing more of that into your life, or if they're draining you, costing you, you're feeling like you're in an addictive behavior, out of control, it's costing you your health in some realm, then you've got to realize why you're doing what you're doing. It's because, in the simplest terms, you are not in alignment with what you value most. So go about the journey of discovering your highest values. I've got processes and trainings available for you right now. Like, you can get instant access to them. So if you want to be an action taker and you want to overcome your negative patterns of behavior, step into your greatness and actually get about living a fulfilling life and stop getting caught up in these, just unhealthy patterns of behavior that are costing you dearly in all realms, then you definitely want to be part of the Limitless Potential community. So shoot me a message or drop me a comment. I'll get the details over to you. All right, I'm signing off, guys. I'm sending you all of my love, and I cannot wait to see you tomorrow.